Eid Mubarak. Can you say? Eid Mubarak. Happy Eid. Okay. Yes.
That's a good one.
All the same. My name is Zina Barakat. I think I know most of you. I hope you know me too. I would like to welcome you to Darebin Intercultural Centre. This is a fantastic place, I have to say. I think if I'm wrong, you can correct me. It's so lovely always to have these beautiful faces around the centre. We've got Vada today, we've got everyone. We have colleagues from the council, we have workers from Darebin Spectrum, and everywhere. The whole idea of this is really cultural. This is what we do in this centre. We always make people aware, you know, everyone here is learning about different cultures. So people come together. Today is pure celebration. It's the marking the end of Ramadan, which some of you are familiar with. It's a fasting month for Muslims around the world. So now it's the celebration. We are a week later because everyone's busy. So we are celebrating today. What we have today on the program, couple of actually presentation about how people celebrate you know, the Eid in Egypt, Sudan, and Somalia. Just give you an idea. We also have beautiful music, Oud, played by the renowned maestro Fuad Harra'a. Thank you so much. Fuad is a teacher, he's the expert with Oud and every other instrument. Thank you. We're lovely to have you. We also have a great feast to be served later, after 12. So, to start with, I need to ask you, do you mind if we film this celebration for the YouTube? The whole idea is to let other people know about the activities in the centre so they can come in the future, participate as well. So all I have to say now, thank you so much. If you object to being filmed, just put your hand up. You all fine? Yes. Okay, the lady there? Yep. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy it. Thank you. The first presentation is from my colleague, Mohammed Al-Haddini.
Thank you, Naam.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Darebin Intercultural Centre. And thank you very much for being here today. I would like to thank you all for coming and joining us to celebrate this special occasion. My name is Mohammed, and I work for the City of Darebin since 2007. It's our pleasure having you here today, seeing those lovely faces from different backgrounds, celebrating and marking Eid Al-Fitr, which is a special occasion for Muslims around the world. This special occasion for Muslims around the world, celebrating and marking the end of the holy months of Ramadan. Muslims worldwide observe this month of fasting. This annual observance is regarded as one of the 5 pillars of Islam. For people who doesn't know what is pillars of Islam is, the first pillar of Islam is Shahada, which is declaration. There is only one God, which is Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. The second pillar of Islam is Salat, which is prayer. This prayer consists of 5 daily prayers according to the day times. Zakat, alms, which is a practice of charity given by Muslims based on accumulated wealth. It consists of spending 2.5% of the wealth in a yearly basis. And this, of course, to be given out to the poor and needy people. Some Ramadan, fasting of Ramadan, which I'll be talking about in a few minutes. And the last pillar of Islam is Hajj, which is pilgrimage to Mecca. This is to be obliged for people who own the money and have the money to go. It's only to be done minimum once in their life. Back to Ramadan, the 4th pillar of Islam. This month lasts for 29 to 30 days, based on the visual sightings of the crescent moon, and according to numerous biographical accounts. Ramadan comes earlier every year by 11 days, due to the lunar calendar, which explains why Eid is moving forward every year. The word Ramadan itself comes from the Arabic word Ramida. Ramida means scorching, which is scorching heat or dryness. While fasting from dawn until sunset, Muslims refrain from consuming food, drinking, liquids, smoking, and others. According to Islam, the rewards of fasting are many, but in this month, they are believed to be multiplied. Fasting for Muslims this month typically includes the increased offering of prayers, recitation of the Holy Book of Quran, and charitable giving and peacemaking. Before the day of Eid, during the last few days of Ramadan, each Muslim family gives a determined amount as a donation to the poor. This donation is actually of actual food, rice, barley, dates, lentil, and so on. This is to ensure that the needy people can have a holiday meal and participate in the celebrations. This donation is known as Sadaqat Al-Fitr, or charity of fast breaking. At the end of Ramadan, Muslims throughout the world observe joyous 3 days of celebration called Eid Al-Fitr. Eid Al-Fitr falls on the first day of Shawwal, which is the month following Ramadan in the Islamic calendar. It's time to give in charity to those in need and to celebrate with family and friends the completion of a month of blessings and joy. On the day of Eid, Muslims gather early in the morning in outdoor locations or mosques to perform the Eid prayer. This consists of a sermon followed by a short prayer. After the Eid prayer, Muslims usually scatter to visit the family and friends, give gifts, especially to the children, and make phone calls to those relatives, distant relatives, to give well wishes for the holiday. These activities traditionally continues for 3 days. In most Muslim countries, this is a public holiday. It's 3 days of public holidays. This is the end of my speech. I wish you all to enjoy this event and enjoy the company and the music and nice food. And thank you very much. Now, I shall pass the call to my colleague Adam to give the speech. Thank you, Adam.
I see so many people so quiet, I get nervous. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Mohammed. That was very helpful. I'm just going to share with you how we celebrate Eid in Somalia. It is celebrated in different countries in different ways. Some people mix with the culture. And I'm just going to talk about how we celebrate Eid in Somalia. Eid is one day, but we start getting ready the last 10 days of Ramadan. Just getting ready. The parents, they buy new clothes for the children. For those who can't afford it, they wash the clothes, and so they can wear something clean and neat on the day. And also making food. We have special food that we eat on the day. We only have proper breakfast. The rest we just eat some sweets and stuff. Okay. What we do.
Speak up.
Okay. What we do for the day, we wake up 6 in the morning. It's not unusual to wake up 6 in the morning tomorrow. That's normal. And we prepare breakfast, but we don't eat the breakfast until we pray. So, and then we get ready for prayer, and everyone, shower, put your new clothes on, or your clean clothes, and then we go to a place where we pray. Sometimes we go to mosque, and sometimes there's a mouse space that we all go together, just like this. And this is Eid prayer. This is what we do. Every Sabbath we have some like a space that everyone comes together and pray. And after pray, like I said before the prayer, everything is being planned. Before Eid, we have planned everything. So after the prayer, we all come together and share a meal. That's a typical Somalian food. It's called anjera. And almost every family in Somalia eats anjera every morning. Maybe 6 days a week, maybe 7 days a week. I love it, and I eat it 7 days a week. And after the breakfast, so man goes with his friends, and children leave the house, and moms and old women go with their friends. It's not like on the day. Here in Australia we have Liberal Day, we have Labor Day. There we only get 2 days free that we don't go to school. That's the 2 days of Eid. So we don't get any public days, public holidays. So yeah, only 2 days of the year. So we make sure that we celebrate and we enjoy those 2 days. So children, they wear new clothes and they visit family and friends, and they leave home 10 a.m. And children, believe it or not, children like this age, in Somalia what happens is if you know how to say your name, your mom's name, your dad's name, and if you can say where you live or what color your door is, you're allowed to go out. It's not like here. If you see a 10 years old kid, you would ask, does your mom know that you're here? But over there it's like, if the kid knows that, and then he passed the test, so he's allowed to go. On the day, children leave home at 10 o'clock, so they will go to neighbor's house or like family and friends. It's like Halloween party. They knock the door, and the neighbors will give them lollies, and there is special food that we eat on the day, and this is the one. All I know that it tastes really good, but I don't know how to make it. So this is the food that we eat on the day. Whenever like the children knock the door, sometimes the neighbors will give you money, but that depends on what you wear. If you wear the brand new clothes, so they're just gonna feed you. But I always used to knock the door and then change my top, like wear an old top, and so I can get some money to buy whatever I want. Yeah, because I was very skinny and I didn't have the stomach to for this food. But now I think about more eating. Okay, what do women wear and do? Like you can see women wear different clothes. That's called jilbab, and that's a scarf, and more like like moms and stuff, they wear that kind of clothes. And some of them, they wear cultural clothes. And what they do is they go places that they like. Everyone is free on the day that they can go with their friends and do whatever they want. The husband is not expecting food to be ready at home. Children are not annoying. So women get to be themselves and do whatever they do the best. Maybe gossiping. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. So they do exactly what they do, and also wear henna. They do henna the night before the Eid. So like you would see people sitting for 7 hours or 8 hours just getting henna done, like henna tattooed all over their hands and legs. Yep. And this is me, as you can see that I'm wearing a mawis. This is a cultural thing that we wear, and all the men wear mawis. And like I said it before, old men got to be with their friends, and maybe these people that they went to the beach on the day and I don't know what they're doing. But you know, mawis is very important. Like on the day, if we go back to the prayer, I might find a few people that's wearing mawis, and yeah, mawis there, over there. So basically, like 90% of people wear mawis, you know, on the day of Eid. Yeah. So when I came to Australia, 10 days after my arrival, it was Eid day, and I wanted to celebrate. So what I did was, my brother and I wore mawis, and he told me that the best place to be is in the market, so we can buy some stuff. And me and my brother holding each other's shoulder, walking in the market, Victoria Market, we're getting all this look like, you know. But we thought that people looking at us just they don't know about the culture. But until we met someone from Somalia, and he said, "What are you guys doing here?" And I said, "We celebrating Eid." And he's like, "We don't do that here." I'm like, "Why not?" And he told me that people think that we are couples. So the whole time that I was holding my brother's hand and my brother's shoulder and giving a high five, we're making it like more obvious for them, you know. So after all, no, mawis is not bad anymore. As you can see, we're doing the modeling mawis. You know, it's not bad. Even went to Western. Isn't it cool? Even today, Obama's wearing it. You know, I really like it now. Thinking about coming home, coming work with mawis. Because if you know how to wear, then you don't need the pants. All you need to wear short. But if you're like me and your mawis just keep falling on the street, so you need a pants in case. Yeah. So that's the only problem. That's why I'm wearing a pants underneath.
Obama was in Somalia?
Obama went to, this was when he was running for the election. He went to Kenya, but it's where he went, it's called Wajir. It is Kenyan territory, but Somalis live there. Yeah. And this is how to wear a mawis. It's very complicated. You need to be real quick, and as you can see, that's the starting point, and then you tuck it in. You have to be very quick, and then bring the other one, and you hold it. I was going to show you, but I'll try.
The sage.
Okay, please don't laugh. All right, this is how you do it. Like I said, you have to do that quick, and then it comes. See, it's still not professional. But I do it this way, which I find it very easy. I hold it here, just roll it, bring it back again. Thank you. Yeah, I brought my whiz there in case if you want to try. It's a brand new one. But please, you know, if this is very difficult, there's always alternative plan and a solution. You can wear a belt. Thank you so much.
That's a very hard act to follow, but I'll try. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but I've got a little video that I'll be showing later on when I finish my speech. So I firstly acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Wurundjeri people, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. My name is Fatima Mohammed, and I'm the Community Development Officer, city of Darebin. I will tell you a little bit about my experiences of Eid over different stages of my life. Growing up in Australia as a young Australian who is also Muslim and African was interesting. My siblings and I attended a Catholic primary school, which we enjoyed. We went to church every Friday, and I was in the school choir. I loved to sing. We also got really excited about Eid because about Christmas, because most of our Catholic friends got really excited about Christmas. And so my parents, oh, you can't hear me, Sean. Okay. So my parents were really supportive, and every year my parents bought us a Christmas tree, which we put in our little lounge in the corner, and we would buy presents for ourselves, and our parents would support us to buy gifts for our Catholic or Christian friends. And so each Christmas, for a number of years, we spent it with our friends. So my parents would drop us off on Christmas Day. I would go to my best friend's house. My brother would be dropped off at his best friend's house, Saxon. My brother's 24 and he still celebrates Christmas every year with his best friend, Saxon. Unfortunately, my sister and I haven't in the last few years, but it was a lot of fun. The one thing that we always wondered about was our friends would talk to us about Santa coming to visit. And we were kind of like, oh, how come Santa doesn't come to visit us? We really weren't sure. And I was the oldest of the three. I am still the oldest of the three. And we often refer to Santa as Papa Noel. And I told my siblings the reason why Santa doesn't come to visit us is because we don't have a chimney. And we just accepted that Santa didn't come to visit because we didn't have a chimney. But we got really excited when we heard our Catholic and Christian friends tell us that Santa came to visit them and gave them gifts. So for many years, not only did we get to celebrate Eid, but we also got to celebrate Christmas, which is really exciting for a kid because there's a lot to celebrate. And so with Christmas, we celebrated Eid. So every Eid, on the last day of Ramadan, my mother and I will stay up baking. When I was in primary school, that was the highlight of Ramadan for me because I got to stay up and I got to bake. And I still bake today. That's the only thing I can do in the kitchen is bake. I can't fry an egg, I can't boil an egg, but I can bake, which is really interesting. So my mother and I would stay up the night before the last day of Ramadan, and we would bake lots of cookies. I'd get really excited when the tray of baked pastries and cookies would come out of the oven, and I can still remember the smell and the taste. Would wake up the next day, and as Adel pointed out, my parents would buy us new clothes and we would dress up. My brother and my father often went to the mosque. My sister and my mom and I wouldn't go to pray for Eid. It's something that our family practices, but I know a lot of other families, women and men, children would often go to the mosque, but we didn't go to the mosque. Only my father and my brother did. But we'd stay at home and wait to greet people. So as soon as people arrived, we'd open the door, and the first thing they'll see before they'll even see my face is a tray of cookies going, Eid Mubarak. A few minutes later, I'll go down, and so with my sister, put the tray, we'd walk around and then come back into the lounge and start asking them for our Eid money. Because we don't get gifts, we get money. So we'd walk into the lounge and we'd ask them, can we have our idea? This is what we refer to it. And I'll go, okay, no worries. One year, me and my sister thought we weren't making enough Eid money. We just weren't getting enough Eid money. So we decided that we'd come up with this elaborate plan as to how we maximize our idea money on the amount of money we got during Eid. My sister and I look very alike. A lot of people used to refer to us as the twins. And on Eid in particular, my mom dressed us in identical clothes and braided our hair exactly the same. So for a lot of people who were really happy and it was Eid, we kind of looked the same. So my sister I would walk in and I would say, can I have my Eid money? They'll give me my Eid money. I'll walk out of the lounge. My sister would walk back in again and she'll ask for her Eid money. The both of us would walk out and then I'd walk back in again and go, oh, where's my Eid money? You didn't give me any money. And some people would go, oh, didn't I give you money a few minutes ago? And I go, no, that's my sister. She's really cheeky and we do look a lot alike. You gave her money, I got no money. Can I have my idea, please? And often, nobody wanted to argue with the kid on Eid day, so we got a lot of money that one year in particular. And as Muhammad said, Eid is at least 10 days early every year. So what would happen at the end of the day, and it was often in summer, we'd sit together, my sister, my brother and I, and we would count our Eid money and get really excited about the number of ice creams we could buy from the milk bar, because that was the highlight for us. Ice cream at the end of Eid day was the most exciting thing for us. So we would collect our money, walk over to the milk bar, and shout to all of our friends who would come over to celebrate Eid with us, would go and buy them ice cream. that was the highlight for me, having ice cream at the end of the day, on which often was a 40-degree day, or I remember those hot summer days. So that was really interesting. So that was Eid for me as a child. I got to my teens and it was a little bit different. When I was a teenager, I was too cool for school. I was too cool for Eid. So I didn't actually get to celebrate Eid much because I was at a stage in my life where I just wasn't celebrating many things. So what my poor mother would try to do was to encourage me to bake with her the night before Eid. And I was just too busy listening to the Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys, something I should never admit to. But I did that. So I would often have an argument with my mom the night before, which meant on Eid day it wasn't a lot of fun because my mom and I had an argument the night before and we weren't speaking to each other and we didn't bake anything. So Eid in my teens, unfortunately, is something that I don't remember very well. But Eid has become exciting again for me now in my early and mid-20s. Now I'm in my late 20s. So I'm now excited about Eid, and I'm especially excited about Eid because my beautiful sister is now a mother of 2 children. And so Eid is exciting for us because I get to go shopping with her to buy outfits for children to wear on Eid day. But also it's because I now, instead of baking, my mom and I have actually discovered a new way of treating our guests when they come home. We found this really awesome bakery in Sydney Road. They make the best cookies ever. So what my mother would do is send me the night or the day before to Sydney Road to buy 4 or 5 boxes of cookies, which I would buy. And like Ado showed, there's specific cookies or pastries that we have around Eid time. So I would go and I would buy the cookies and I'll bring them home. My mom and I would take all the boxes and hide them in the bin so no one knows. On the day of Eid, I'd wake up and I'd put the cookies in the little serving tray. And so when people walk into the house, I'm always the person that serves them. As I said, my father and my brother continue to go to the mosque, whereas my mother and I and my sister don't go to the mosque on Eid day. So I'm the one that's always at home. So people will come over and I'll open the door and I'll give them the tray of cookies and biscuits and treats. And often now, since I've finished uni and become to a lot of people an adult now, the Eid greeting that I receive all the time now is Eid Mubarak Fatim, Insha'Allah, which is God willing, next year you will be married. And to that I always have a very well rehearsed response, which I always turn around and say, Auntie, marriage is a full-time job with no vacation. I'm not sure that's a contract I want to sign. And so my mom would get really upset and go, no, that's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to say Amen, Amen. You're supposed to say Amen, Inshallah, or God willing. And she'll come running with her tray and go, don't worry, don't listen to her. She's delirious. She stayed up all night making these cookies. Would you like to have some? And obviously I did not stay up all night. I did drive for 45 minutes to get the cookies from Sydney Road, but I did not stay up all night. So as was highlighted by Muhammad and by Ado and what they spoke about, Eid is something that's celebrated in many countries across the world, in Muslim and non-Muslim countries. And it's celebrated in a very similar way. People come together, families and friends, children get really excited, they're treated to new clothes, money or gifts. And on the day of Eid in particular, people will often go to the mosque, followed by visits to family and friends. And that's something that's very common across the world. And Eid is often celebrated over 3 days in Muslim countries. For those who live like myself, Muhammad and others in the room who are Muslim here, in non-Muslim countries, unfortunately we can't celebrate Eid over 3 days. And if it does fall on a weekday, often people, if they're at school, kids will not go to school for at least 1 day. And if it's people who work, often you take a day off. But fortunately for us this year, it's a very exciting year because Eid was on a Sunday, which was the 19th of August. So a lot of people had the day, took the Monday off, but many were very fortunate to, for the first time in a long time, not having to request leave from work or to take a day off school because Eid fell on a Sunday, which was very nice. So Eid is an opportunity for people to come together to reflect on the past year and to plan for the future. There's mosques all over Melbourne and there's mosques here in Darebin. In fact, there's one just standing up on Gower Street, which is the Preston Mosque. And often during Ramadan and on Eid, they open their doors to everybody. So every night at most of the mosques here in Melbourne, there'll be an iftar or the breaking of the fast dinner. Anybody, Muslim, non-Muslim is welcome to walk into that mosque and receive a meal. And no one will ask you, are you fasting or not? On Eid Day in particular, people are treated to sweets often and drinks. So anybody, any member of the public, Muslim or non-Muslim, can walk into any mosque and expect to be treated with hospitality and offered at least a sweet and a drink of water. So I encourage you, now that you know that there's Muslims here in Darebin, I'm sure you all know, that to go down to the Preston Mosque when you can, when you've got time, and to go to any mosque in your local area and to visit. And that's what a lot of Muslims do. The Preston Mosque is a very busy mosque because a lot of people consider it to be their preferred mosque. So a lot of people would travel from all over Melbourne to pray Eid in that mosque. But then often people pray their Eid prayers or perform their Eid prayers in their local mosque. I would like to conclude with the following YouTube video which I mentioned earlier, which is from an episode of Salam Cafe. I'm not sure if anybody's watched Salam Cafe. It is one of my favorite shows. And it's an interesting video about working with Muslims or having Muslims in the workplace. Muslims make up about 4.8 of the population in Darebin. That's in 2011. Most of you would know a Muslim, work with a Muslim, or you are a Muslim. And so I'll just put that on to give you a little bit of an insight into not only how to work with Muslims, but to interact with Muslims, taking into consideration some of the cultural and religious practices that some people adhere to. Sorry. I'm not wearing.
Very well.
Sorry.
Yourself?
I want to start it from this. Technology is the most wonderful thing at times.
Out of this corporate Australia, it's the very latest training video on the subject about Muslims in the workplace. Could be very handy, Dad, if I can.
Are you part of the 1 in 3 Australians who work with people who have funny names, who eat funny food, and often go for a smoke break but come back looking like they've just had a shower with their clothes on? Chances are that you probably work with a Muslim. In this video, you will hear from real Muslims who will inform us how to keep them happy, comfortable, and hence safely dormant.
During the month of Ramadan, we don't eat or drink during the daytime. Having said that though, it's okay to eat in front of us.
She's coming!
It's okay.
Now, before we pray, we have to perform sort of like a ritual wash. And a little bit messy. You know, I thought it would be a great idea if we had a dedicated wash facility, just so that we don't leave water all over the floor or freak out the colleagues. Mate, what are you doing?
As Muslims, touching is an issue in the workplace. Out of respect to the opposite gender, there's no physical contact at all. Or the handshake, for example. Good morning, how are you?
Very well, yourself?
Very good. With a big hug at the end of every party.
Hello! Been
we cannot drink alcohol. So keep that in mind for the next birthday party.
Well done, mate. You'll love this. A bottle of plonk and a homebrew kit.
So there you have it. Working with Muslims isn't that difficult. You simply need to meet our demands, follow the simple instructions outlined in the DVD, and you will have a workplace with greater harmony for everybody. Especially Muslims.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. That was fantastic. Straight to the point. Now I would like to introduce our manager, Ms. Dalal Smali, to say a few words on behalf of Darebin Council.
Hi everyone, it is going to be very few words. Welcome to the Intercultural Centre. Sorry I missed the start. I was at the induction of staff at the council, and what I was telling staff was very much about you as a community, how diverse Darebin community is, what a wonderful centre this place is, and inviting them all to come and make sure that they do participate in what's happening at the centre, because I think what we have to offer is really a great variety of programs and activities that has something attractive to everyone. So I'm very pleased to see you all here today and to see also some of the Darebin staff here. I'm sure you've heard a lot of presentations today, so you're not expecting another one from me. I just wanted to say welcome on behalf of Council, and please enjoy the rest of what this event has to offer, which is the best part, I think, is all the food and everything.
And the music.
And the music, you probably heard Fuad at all, or yet, or not yet?
And
No.
some announcement, just to let you know, the celebrations will continue. We are approaching Christmas, but before that, in September we have the Moon Cake Festival. We have celebration here. That's very important, and there's wonderful story to be told behind the idea of that festival. The other one, the Jewish festival, we're going to have a celebration the 1st of November, so I'd love to see you all here. And of course, the finale of the year will be the Christmas party for everyone.
Yeah.
So I hope
What about Diwali?
Diwali as well. We're looking into
October.
all of them. Yes, we love to have Diwali and everything. And if you have other ideas, we love to hear them. So, all what I can say now, enjoy the music, enjoy the food. Thank you to all my colleagues who participated today and did wonderful effort to explain Eid. And thank you to the music. Thank you, Dalal, and all of you, every one of you, for coming and sharing this occasion. Thank you. And now we can go to have lunch. Just we need to have a queue.